Hi all, welcome to my channel, welcome to my world. This is the world. God, I'm nervous about this one. This is the final issue, issue 100 of D'Agostini's Build Your Own R2-D2. Okay, let's just build the thing and get it over and done with because I'm dying to put the on button and make sure the thing works after 2 years. I blooming hope it does. In this one, look, we've got two leads. We've got an extension lead there. We've got the plugs. I think people were asking about the plugs that were filling up the little leg sections of R2. They're included there as well. And we've got a little sticker for one of the windows there, and we've got a cable tidy here. What we're going to be doing here, we've got another little brochure there saying about ordering back issues, but we're going to be pretty much putting some wires in, an extension wire and the last of the wires, if you like. Getting these all wired into the board, putting this down, putting the head on, and then putting the back panel on, connecting the speaker up, putting it all together. Obviously putting these plugs in. I'm not going to do this this bit here. I'm going to wait till the thing's turned on and I know it's working. Put the sticker on the lightsaber. Then it's time to turn it on. Priming the battery and stuff like that. So when we get to that bit, that's when I'm going to rearrange the cameras. And we'll have this switched on for the first time. This is going to be completely live, as in I'm not going to cut it if it goes wrong, but we'll see how we go from there. What I'm going to do is I'm going to get everything set up just on here, get a camera lined up, because the first thing we need to do is bring the actual R2 unit onto the table here. Okay, so step one, we're going to be using the speaker extension cable, which is a red and black cable, just like that. And in one end, we've got a little 2-point female socket there. And on the other end, we've got the male socket. What we're going to be doing is we're going to be locating where this goes in the unit here. And basically, it's where it says speakers, and it's just there. So we just need to make sure we put this in the right way. And we'll get this bit in now. Hopefully, my fingers won't get too far in the way here. Bit fiddly, this is now. There we go, that's the speaker cable in, and what they want us to do is just pass the speaker cable just underneath this section here. So it's just coming out of the unit just like that. Now I've just put the R2 on the floor so we can talk about these cables. There's two lots of these cables here. We've got one which has got 5 holes in it, as you can see there. And we've got one which has got 6 holes in it, as you can see there. We want the one that's got 5, and we're going to be labelling these up with the labels that we had last time. Now the one that's got 5 is going to have CN in label. Which isn't that one. Going to go for all the labels that I've got left. CN in. There we go. There's 2 of these. So we're going to be putting these on here so we can identify that for next time. Make sure that we don't pinch these, obviously. But I'm going to put these on just like this. Quite tricky to get on, I have to say. Especially when there's lots of wires there. But that's that one on as well. So we've got 2 now which say CN in. And on the last one we got here, which is this one here, I'm just going to get a another wire cutter just to cut that off there. Like that. And on this one we're going to have the H out cables, which is the last 2 labels that we've got left. So we'll put these on as well. That's one on. And we do the same on this side. And that's 2 on. And there we go, that identifies the difference between those cables. Now what it wants me to do is lay these cables out so one side has a red side next to it and one side has a white side next to it. So the other is mirrored on the other side here. It doesn't really matter what way they go as long as you've got it like that, because the next thing we're going to do is we're going to put wire tidy down this full length of the cable. So I'll get that put on now. And there we go, that's the wire tidy on. Now the next thing we've got to do is bring the dome over because we're going to start plugging these bits in. Okay, so the next stage, you see in here, we've got the little red plug here. We're going to be plugging the one with the 6 holes. If you can see that there, the 6 holes is going to be going in that. Just make sure, obviously, you put it in the right way. You've got the little line at the side, which is going to tell you which way that goes in. So I'll put that in now. I'm making sure that's seated absolutely perfectly. It looks like it is. Yep, I'm going to go with that. So that's that one in there, no problems at all. That was step 15. Okay, step 16, the next cable we're going to be putting in is this is the white one with the 6 holes, is going to be going into this hole here, and it's going to be going over the top of this frame here. So again, make sure you've got it lined up correctly and it's in the right way round. And we're going to plug this one in here just like this. There we go, that one's in perfectly. Once that's in, it wants us to cable tie this just to the frame here. Now I've still got some cable ties from the last issue, so we're going to put that on here. Make sure this is all pinned down because we don't want these wires going anywhere. There we go. I'm going to snip off the excess here. And that's basically that cable in there. And that's all the way up to step 18. Now step 19, we're going to be putting this rod all the way down into the dome here. Making sure that it's flush at the other end there. So that one's in just like that. Now we're going to have to bring the whole unit up because we're going to be putting the dome on the actual main unit. This is going to be tricky. Now when I put the dome on, I'm going to want to put it on so that the actual eye is towards the front of the droid here. But it wants us to put this cable just through the ring here. So I'm going to put that through there. It's going to be going through here, and they've got it going through one of these motor plates here. I'm going to put it through. I'm going to be putting it through the hole nearest to the main spindle unit there. And now that's through, I'm going to gently lower R2's head on. And there we go. That's fit perfectly. There's no gap. Well, there's a little gap, but not anything spectacular. But that is on exactly as we need it. So now we've got that. Now I've just pulled these wires down as far as I can because the last thing we've got to do is just plug the red wire and the white wire into the corresponding holes here, red and white. And again, make sure that you don't tangle this up. I'm going to do the white first. This is going to be a little bit tricky because you saw the problem I had with the speaker cable. I've got to do the same thing now with these cables. So I'll get that in and show you what that looks like. I would love to tell you how easy that is, but if you can see, I am absolutely sweating. That took a while, but as you can see, the red, I'll point to it actually, the red wire is now in, and the white wire is now in, and I think they're seated absolutely perfectly, so hopefully that's all we need to do with that bit. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to be putting the back on and connecting the speaker up. Okay, this is relatively simple compared to what we just had to do. All we're going to do is put the extension cable for the speaker into the speaker here. Wire, making sure obviously it's round the right way and the pins are in right. Just goes in like that. Perfect. And then we're going to be putting the back on. So this is going to go on like this. Whoops. I don't want no wires sticking out at all. You feed this together here. Get that under there. Just so it's going to be sitting on perfectly, just like that. And there we go. That's both sides of the R2 now on. Right, before I continue about doing the whole thing up, which I don't really want to do unless I know this thing's working. So I'm going to do that afterwards. We're going to put the batteries in. So I get the battery box out here. Put it out just so I can get the cover off here. And then we'll put the batteries in. Okay. Here we go with the batteries. Make sure you put them in the way. Obviously make sure that the batteries are lined up so the button tops are away from the springs. So here's the first one. Here's the second one. Fifth one. And last but not least, the sixth one. So all the batteries are in. I'm going to put the cover back on. Excellent. Pull this down, slip the battery box back where it goes, underneath the R2 unit there, and then I'm going to just leave it like that because I don't want to attach everything until I can actually confirm this is working. So let's turn it back round. So looking how it looks at the moment, it looks good, I have to say. Okay, the next thing it wants me to do is to plug the charger into the front of the unit here. Now obviously the charger's just in the front here. I've already plugged in the charging cable. So it says plug the mains adapter, this is step 12, into the R2. Plug the other end into the mains and turn it on. Leave it for a couple of seconds and turn it off. Then unplug both ends. This is a protection procedure to activate the battery, and without doing this R2-D2 won't turn on. This is very important. You do not need to repeat this process. So we're going to plug in the mains adapter into R2, plug in the other end of the mains to turn it on, leave it for a couple of seconds, then turn it off and unplug both ends. So we're going to put it in here because it's on at the moment. Whoops. Leave it for a couple of seconds. 1, 2, then unplug it. That should have hopefully primed it. We do not need to repeat the process, it says. Okay, next thing we're going to be doing is we're going to be turning the switch on underneath the R2 unit, which is here. So I'm going to turn it on. Nothing's going to happen straight away. R2 is now turned on and theoretically powered. Now, what should happen now, if this works? We should be able to press this button here, which is the on button. The head will turn left, it will turn right, it will jolt forward, and it will do a sort of like a diagnostic session. Let's see.
She's alive! Alive!
And as you can see, we've got a flashing purple light. Oh my god. It works. It worked first time. It's emotional. It's emotional. I can't believe it's done that. That's exactly what it should be doing. It's obviously ready to do commands now, and I'm ready to put the thing up. So that was live. That was the first time I'd done it. So if it didn't work, you would have going to see it's not going to work. Okay, so let me just talk about the buttons. They're on this thing that I'm going to be sticking in a minute. But the top button is patrol mode. I'm not going to be putting it into patrol mode now, because if I do, it's going to go all over the table and there's not much room to do. We'll go downstairs in a minute and film that. But the second one should be the arms in and out. So these arms here should come in and out when I press this button. That works perfect. Okay, number 3 is the lightsaber. We should be having the lightsaber come out the top there. Now the other buttons we've got here are for Wi-Fi pairing there, switch connection mode, and this one here, which is just the on-off button. But if we keep this one pressed here, it will reset the unit, and obviously it's going to do its own thing at the moment. So once I press that button, as you can see, the unit's turned off. So I'm ready to put the whole thing together. But before I do that, I'm going to actually put the thing together properly, and then we'll get it downstairs and we'll have a go and see what it looks like on the floor. This should be fun. Okay, so now we know it works, we're going to start putting these side panels on. So these are 2.5 by 6mm screws, and I'm going to do the front first. That's one on. We'll do the bottom one, and then we'll turn the R2 unit around, and we'll do the other side. I was up at 4. I knew that this would be coming today, and I was up at 4 o'clock in the morning worried about it, but everything seems to work. Now, the only thing I can't demonstrate to you at the moment is the app, because you probably saw my live stream last night. D'Agostini haven't got it ready in time. Okay, once we've done that, we're going to be putting these bits on. Now, these sprues are labelled. You've got sprue A and sprue B. Now, sprue A is for the top ones. They're a lot shorter, and the angled ones that we got here are going to be going into just these holes here. So there we go, that's the top ones in. I can probably do a better job than that. So we do the same thing on the bottom ones here, which are just on the other sprue, and these just push in. Okay, the only other thing we need to do now is to put this little chart to tell you what everything does just in the inside door here. So I'll get that stuck in now. And as you can see, that's now stuck in. So all I've got left to do is just put the battery pack, tie the battery pack around the back there, screw that back in, and then we'll go see what it looks like in sentry mode. So there you go, as you can see, the battery pack's on now. All we've got to do now is just put the little plugs in these holes here and here. So I'll do that now. There we go, and they're on there. I know a lot of people are worried about those plugs, so they've been left to the end, but there you go. So we're going to get it downstairs and put it on patrol mode. Okay, I've already got the switch on underneath, so I'm going to turn the thing on again, which I said is just for using this button here, and you'll see exactly what it does. It jumps forward, the head moves around to the right. Oh, it's so good. This is never going to get boring. You see the lights are red at the moment. It goes back, and then the right's flashing a purple. It's a purple flash, although you can't really see that on here. And it makes a nice whistle noise. And then all we're going to do is we're going to push the top sentry button and watch it go for a wander. So there we go, we're leaving it to go for a wander. It's crashing into the dog's bed, but as you can see, it's anticipated that, and it's gone in a different direction, and off it goes again. Having a good look around. Bless it, it's going to crash into the tree. And it's turned. Really cool. So I'm going to turn it off for sentry mode. So I'm just powering it back up again, because you've seen what sentry mode is. I'm just going to demonstrate the lightsaber and the other bits again. Now you may notice that the front LEDs, the back long one there and the side ones here, aren't working at the moment. Now the reason they're not working is because that's controlled by the app. So don't worry that these haven't come on here or the other side. When the app comes on, they'll be due. But as I said, if we do the buttons here, as you can see, they open what you just saw earlier. And last but not least, we'll have the lightsaber coming out there, looking pretty cool. But yeah, so the only thing that I was a bit concerned about was these LEDs here around the back, but I did have a good read of the instructions. Nothing to worry about. They'll be coming when we get the app. I don't know when that's coming, but as you can see, I've just turned this off now. When it turns off, it powers down. Takes a little while, but you know it's off because the lights turn off. Just another quick thing to mention, that if you've got R2 powered up, and not just the switch at the bottom, you've actually got the on button put on, and you put the charging cable in, it will show you that it's charging by having a flashing purple light there. When it's fully charged, that light will turn blue. Thought I'd just put that in if people are unsure about that. Well, what can I say? It's been emotional. I'm going to demonstrate the full thing to you in another video. Obviously, I can't do that at the moment because the app is not ready. So hopefully the app will get ready. And as I said, you'll start to see these LEDs working here in the back. The camera will work. Just notice that you can still see the screws in here because they're silver, not black. So that's probably some other thing I'm going to correct afterwards. But I'm just grateful the thing worked when I turned it on. And I know some people are having problems. I've seen some of the malfunctions and my heart does go out to you because it would have meant taking the whole thing apart just to actually sort it out. But I've demonstrated what I can with this. And I really do hope you've got something out of this video because this has been an absolutely brilliant build and I've really enjoyed it. And you saw how emotional I was. But anyway, there will be another video coming, which will be a montage and showing you everything that it does. But I can't do that, as I said, till the app comes. But I hope you like that video. Take care.